Hi, Jan and Ixa here. I help people master their mindset and raise their vibe so they can truly live the life of their wildest dreams. So glad you're here. In this video, we are going to be talking about a spiritual awakening. What is it? How does it happen? What am I supposed to do about it? And I am so excited to be talking about this topic because I know where you are. I've been there, and I certainly wish I had some guidance when I was. The reason I feel like this topic might be very timely is a lot of people right now have a lot of time on their hands. We have been quarantined. Perhaps people have lost their job, unfortunately, or maybe they even have a sick loved one. But what my kind of intuition is telling me is at this point, people are starting to look for answers. People are starting to question things like the media. They're starting to ask tougher questions of themselves, like, am I really happy in my career? What could I be doing differently? And do I have a life purpose? So we're really going to be talking about that today and just how to navigate some of these questions. So if these are some of the questions that you're starting to ask yourself, then this is completely normal. And it's actually happening all over the world. With all of this free time and with things in such upheaval, people are really starting to go inside themselves. And that's what this awakening is all about. It is truly starting to discover your inner self and tapping into that part of you, that wisdom, and shining that out into the world. It's really the essence of it is coming to the conclusion of, you know what? It's not just about being this human being. It's not just about really being this human doing. It's so much more. It's not about the job or the clothes or the cars. It's so much. You're truly a spiritual being having a human experience. And when you really start to get that, it really shifts things for you. Your priorities really start to change. So I just wanted you to know, if you're starting to have these thoughts and you're thinking, oh my gosh, like what is this and where is it coming from? That is what's happening. You know, a lot of people have been through this awakening, myself included. And, it can happen for a number of reasons. It can happen out of a tragedy. And that's when some people just wake up to the truth of who they are. And then they start searching for more truth. For some people like myself, I was an achiever. I was told if I go to this school and if I get this job and if I marry this guy and I have these kids, that I will be happy. Like it was just this equation. A plus B plus C plus D equals happiness. And for me, unfortunately, when I got to that place, I started looking around and said, wait a minute, I don't feel it. Like I don't feel that fulfillment that I was told I would feel. So maybe this is you too. But the reason I'm recording this video now is because so many people are starting to ask these questions because we're slowing down. And, the earth has forced us to slow down. And so now we can truly start to reflect. So I just wanted you to know that you are not alone. So now that you've taken yourself off of just autopilot, just kind of going through your day is totally changed. It's upside down now, right? What do you do? Maybe you've started to look at the media in a different way and realize that it either really seems negative pretty much always, or that you're just starting to feel this element of distrust. I mean, those are signs that you are waking up. Again, this is totally normal. Or, maybe you're starting to think about things like, who am I really? And what is my purpose? And these are very valid questions, and I will be recording other videos about how to walk through that process and how to really get in touch with that part of yourself. I will also be doing a meditation, and I will link it in the description below about how to get in touch with that part of you to get with your life purpose, to connect with that. So, the other thing I think when it comes to waking up is things that used to interest you just don't seem to interest you anymore, or they're just losing their grip on you. And I know that certainly happened for me. So, there's just so many different elements to this. But what I really want you to get in the essence of this whole conversation is you starting to see things differently. You're not getting the fulfillment that maybe you once did, or that you are finally acknowledging that you never have. And now you're looking for answers. And the good news is, of course, I don't have all the answers, but I can certainly give you some tools that will help you navigate this process. You are not alone. So if this is resonating with you, if you are feeling like yes, and you're just, nodding along with this video, then you're going through an awakening process, or you are awake. So here are a few tools that I'm going to walk through that I think will help you just sort of continue this journey and just make the most of it right now. So the first one is, there's something called a miracle morning. And now that we all don't have to be up at the crack of dawn, I would really encourage you to maybe set your alarm a little bit earlier than everyone else in the house and get up and just start having some quiet time for yourself in the morning. It doesn't necessarily, have to be in a meditation, but what I like to do in the morning is I get up at least an hour, possibly 2, before everyone else, and I have my quiet time. And in that time, this is where you can find that place of connection with yourself. And you can start to just ponder these questions of, what is really important to me? How can I best serve myself during this time, during this downtime? And just start to really ask these questions that maybe you haven't allowed yourself to ask since you were a child. I know I hadn't. What makes me happy? And listen, this is not suggesting that you're not happy in your marriage or even in your job, but just beginning to, like I said, take yourself off of autopilot and numbing out. So many of us are so numb. Take yourself out of that loop and just start to reel it in and just see what comes up for you when you start to just ask these questions and listen. So the second thing is journaling. I would really encourage you to just get a notebook or a journal and just start writing these questions down. Start writing down, maybe, what's coming up for you, what other questions you have, and just start to make that sort of like a dialogue between yourself and maybe your inner self. It's really interesting, sort of the things that begin to come out when you write them down and just do some of that kind of freehand writing where you just write. The third thing I would really encourage at this point is to get outside, get in nature. I don't know where you live. I live in the southeast part of the United States, and right now it is absolutely beautiful. So thank goodness we're not going through this when it's 20 degrees outside. And so you can get outside and get in nature and just take a walk. And, not a walk necessarily for exercising or, the biggest thing I can encourage you when you're going through some of these different things is don't treat it like a checklist. Me being that achiever that I talked about, so much of my spiritual journey at first was like, oh, meditation, check. Sat in silence for 10 minutes, check. Went in nature, check. But, try to find the space, when you kind of connect with your heart a little bit, to just enjoy it. Enjoy that process. And then the last thing is meditation. Definitely not the least. It is the most important skill for you to begin to develop. We will be doing a ton of videos on this. Of course, it's very near and dear subject to me, being a meditation teacher and coach. And so I'm going to be walking you through from top to bottom everything you need to know to start your meditation process, develop your meditation process. But here's what I would suggest for now. Once you have a little bit of that quiet time in the morning, either before or after that, just take a few minutes, find yourself somewhere comfortable to sit. And I would recommend that you choose a spot that you can continuously go back to, and close your eyes and just connect with your heart by just putting your hands over your heart and just feeling your chest rise and fall. And just do that for now. Just maybe set your timer on your phone for 3 to 5 minutes and just begin to practice that. And if you have it in you, do that again at night before you go to bed. And I think that you will really start to develop this skill. One thing I will say about meditation, if you are going to give it a try, is be patient with yourself. It is a meditation practice, not a meditation perfect. And I think when people come to meditation for the first time, they just assume because it's sitting quietly that they'll just be able to do it. And you have a lot of momentum built up in your life up until now with your thoughts and with your actions and with your movement. And, for you to just bring that all to a screeching halt and expect that it's not going to drive you crazy, even if it is for only 3 to 5 minutes, is tough. So be patient with yourself. Treat yourself, training yourself to just continuously come back to your breath and the rise and fall of your chest, and just continuously bringing that back, because you're going to get distracted. You're going to go off on a tangent in your mind. We always do. It's super natural. So just continuously bring yourself back. And if there's a fourth thing that I would start to really hone in on right now as you're going through this, is gratitude. Gratitude is huge. So if you can just find a couple of things, whether it's just in your life in general, or maybe just for that day, as you're getting up in the morning, perhaps jot down in that journal 3 to 5 things that you're just grateful for. And then at the end of the day, again, if you can find gratitude as you fall asleep at night, you would be very surprised at how that will serve you through the night and forever through the next day. So it just is such an amazing high vibe thing to tap into. So those are your 4 sets of skills that you need to be working on for now. So just to recap, sitting quietly with yourself, allowing yourself to ask these questions. And 2 is to get that journal and just start recording some of these things. The questions that come up, maybe some potential answers, just, recording some of that quiet time and seeing. It's amazing how it all comes together when you write it down. The 3rd thing is to get outside, get in nature, and find a way to really appreciate it. Just connect with it. And then the 4th thing is to do my heart breathing meditation for 3 to 5 minutes a day, at least in the morning. And if you can do it in the morning and right before you go to bed, that would be perfect. So please let me know in the comments below how this is working for you. Have you been able to do it? and you know, what is changing, or what are the challenges or questions that are coming up for you. Well, that's pretty much it for today. I'm so glad you guys are here and waking up. This is amazing. What an incredible journey to be beginning, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. So if you like what you're hearing so far, please hit the subscribe button below, and don't forget to also hit the notification bell so that you can be alerted when new videos go up. So thanks again so much. Take care and keep shining your light.